I just found this really good strategy in Mario Kart DS. I just need to record it.
The Nintendo DS sucks to record. Actually, most portable game consoles kinda suck. But as someone that only owns a DS, I'll only talk about the DS. The Nintendo DS released in 2004, and because why would you, there is no natural way to capture video output from one, let alone both screens. So, how do people do it? Well, with official methods, dev kits and press boxes for the Nintendo DS are indeed a thing, often called an Is Nitro emulator or capture, but sometimes with other names, often with the reason why you would be legally using one. They had this blue box with a DS hooked up to it as a controller. I can't really speak on their quality, but they're probably serviceable. However, as a consumer, the only way to play Nintendo DS on a big screen is the Wii U. The Virtual Console had a handful of titles released for it because it just made sense. Two screens. It does a really good job at emulating the game, sometimes a bit too good. And we're allowed to hook up a HDMI capture card to record it from a computer. Annoyingly, there are limited games on the service, so at least the one I want to play is on it. But what if I wanted to record Touchmaster? Well, now we depart the world of what Nintendo is okay with. There is homebrew for the 3DS that allows me to stream the screen to the computer. Well, if the internet's good enough, and if it wants to work. However, we want to record Nintendo DS games, not 3DS games. And when booting DS games, the 3DS turns off 3DS services like Street Pass and the streaming homebrew app. So, we have to figure something out. Well, a few years ago, some people figured out how to make a cheap person capture card. This mod is called a Nintendo DS Lite TV Out. And this particular kit was bought from AliExpress. It's a ribbon cable and board that plugs into the top screen and has a button to change the screen so you can get both. And the ribbon cable on the one I got was poor quality that the DS would turn off thinking the top screen had been disconnected. However, buying the same cable from AliExpress again seemed to fix it. This device is kind of annoying as the ribbon cable and board is probably delicate and it kind of just flops out the top. And in terms of the video quality, it's really subpar. It outputs in composite, so to get onto a reasonable device I need to use a HDMI converter. And no matter what I play it on, it just kinda looks bad. I've seen versions of this mod that use a HDMI cable, as well as other ones that are fully internal, but I'm just gonna stick with what I currently have. Now what about my method of recording the Nintendo DS? Well, I use the PC emulator MMmmm. Well, I'm currently using a slightly older version due to pixel scaling issues with the latest version. As an emulator, it has other creature comforts, such as fast forwarding and upscaling the models. And I can use whatever controller I want. However, I stick with a Switch Pro controller that's trying to die on me. However, with using an emulator, there are a few issues, like it's not perfectly like real hardware. This can apply to the Wii U version as well. Well, I've just had to stick with it, as there's not much of a way to play and record Nintendo DS games in good quality. Well, this is a loopy Nintendo DS capture card from 3DS Capture. Made for the original Nintendo DS, this outputs a USB cable worth of data to a PC and uses software to record it from there. Now the install process of this involves getting a friend who can do the soldering, because it's one of the things I am banned from doing. And this device is so much nicer than the TV Out kit. While the software doesn't nearest neighbor scale, using OBS and setting it to point makes it so it looks nice. Strangely, the capture software didn't like my laptop. However, it was perfectly fine with this Windows 8 tablet thing. And shout out for the kit for having this really nice USB cable and the best tri-wing screwdriver. And that's about every way to record the Nintendo DS. Well, I never said the most basic way of doing it.
I just found out that if you turn on the DS with Mario Kart DS inside of it, it plays Mario Kart DS. I think this is going to change the meta. This technique is called me. Copyright me. Do not steal my technique, it is mine.